Hey everyone, welcome to Damage Scaling YouTube channel. I'm your host Eddie Wang, and today we have the season 4 changes going live now in this channel. And we know that season 4 has pretty much leaked for some privileged influencers out there that got the copy earlier and was spoiling everything for everyone. But I felt like maybe we can still do this and put the changes out there because there is still a lot to talk about. But let me just start by saying that I'm really not impressed as much with this Jin. There are some good buffs, but there are also some quite a few of nerfs that doesn't really make much of a difference. This is still season 3 Jin with just better strings in general. Of course, there is a new move that doesn't really have a significant impact on Jin's game, in my opinion. And a lot of people are drooling themselves over that move, but I'm going to show you why this isn't really the case. And the biggest change that Jin actually got is not even the laser scrapper move, of course, it's now called Geyser, but this is indeed the old school just frame laser scrapper, only that is blockable now and minus 14 on block. But let's start with the changes that Jin got before we actually talk a little bit more about season 4 in the future videos. So the damage of this move is now 20 damage. They say this is 26 instead of 30, but the truth is that this move is now 26. So it's a theme from season 4 is that everything you do has more scaling. So damage scaling, like the channel name. So every combo has a little bit more scaling at the wall. Damage has been decreased overall for some moves, but the scaling is also increased overall in the general for the game. So this is a move that received damage scaling on the last hit, and it's now 20 damage instead of instead of 30. So another nerf that Jin got is Magic 4. It's now a screw, and some people were finding difficulty landing this combo. I can understand. Sometimes it feels inconsistent, and sometimes it works. And there is also, what else did they nerf? Oh, of course, they also nerfed the down 4. And down 4 received a huge nerf, and it's not exactly huge, but it received a damage nerf. It's now 13 damage instead of it's now it's now 11 damage instead of the regular 13 that he used to get. And this is a move that hits grounded but doesn't really have homing on it, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. So these are the main nerfs. Of course, there is another one on forward 4, which is now 0 on block. This used to be plus 4 on block, and so we could actually wave dash into this to get like some really good pressure, but now this move is just it's just a worse 4-4-3 now. And it's hilarious because I know a lot of people that actually use forward 4 on pressure on Oki, but now the best that you are going to get on Oki it's plus 2. It's probably the best that you are going to get from forward 4. Oh, you can also get plus 3, but if you hit on the lightest possible active frame, but the most common one is going to be plus 2. So it doesn't really make much of a difference because your 4-4-3 also does this, and if you guess right, you get a launcher. It's only that this hits people on the ground, but isn't really much of a sensing nerf. This is a nerf that doesn't really make any sense at all. Why did they just nerf the plus frames of forward 4? A lot of Jin players were slightly angry about that, and I understand. I'm also, because plus frames is always good. So this means that now you're gonna have to utilize forward 3-3 a lot more, because this is going to be your only mid with plus frames now, meaning that this is +6 on block, and is the only move that you get to access free pressure for now. And you can even do it with forward 3-3 to make it +6, faking a forward 3. So just know this exists. If you haven't watched Jin School, this move is real. So these are pretty much all the nerfs that Jin got. And now let's on the buffs. And the buff, the first buff is the second hit of this move is now 9 damage. It used to be 7, but now it's 9. So this used to be 14, now it's 16. So a good change. Nevertheless, more damage is always good, meaning that if we connect all 3 of these, it's going to be good. And this is also a natural counter hit combo on second hit, so it makes the third one guaranteed. Really good stuff. The most important one is of course the 214. The 214, the last hit is now always +4. It doesn't really matter if it's a counter hit or a regular hit. The last hit is always going to be always +4, and the pushback of the move was reduced. So now you actually get to forward 4 people, and it's less likely like they are going to interrupt you with jabs anymore, because now you will be able to actually hit them with this or with a standing 4 that is going to launch. But just be ready to convert, because the conversion is kind of bad. But it's also a season 14. They nerfed the move to match season 4 changes. So another buff Jin got comes from down 4. It's really not much significant, but if this move connects on counter hit, there is a slightly more pushback now compared to when you just do this as a regular hit. It's just like a 0.1 range in general. Doesn't really make much of a difference. Another move that got a buff, it's one of my favorites, and it's down back 3, is now -10 instead of -13. So this is a really good change, and now you can actually panic people with this move if they are spamming high. So this is a good move to actually avoid people that like to jab. Now you get to actually do this and put them on the ground, and then GG boys. Oh, we're going to get to this move, but note that this move has 3 active frames. If you are really that close, it's going to be -11, but if you manage to hit them on the latest active frame, it's going to be -9. But this is a frame that is kind of really hard to hit, so unless of course they sidestep into guard, I believe, then the move is going to be a guardable -9. Let's see if we can replicate. So this is hitting from this direction. If we are going to that side, in order to make it kind of hard, really kind of hard, but it's possible to make this move safe if they are moving. Another change, it's of course, there is one that doesn't really make sense, and I don't understand this change at all. They say that 4-4-3-1-2, now it's a block string, right? This is now a block string on second hit. This was always a block string and people could never duck this. I don't know exactly where Namco is taking this from. If you guys have seen Jin School, I already displayed that this wasn't exactly duckable, but they're saying that this is now a block string, but doesn't really make much of a difference because this was always a block string, so doesn't really matter. So the last 3 moves are going to be also buffs. So this is now a consistent combo, and you no longer need to delay to get like all the good damage from it as well. So really good change. It's easily one of the positive changes of season 3, so really good. But this is pretty much it. The last 2 changes is something that I want to cover personally, and this is my favorite change of the game. Back forward 2-1 now deals more damage. They used to do 25, but now it's 29. meaning that if people are really moving around too much or trying to dash in, then this move is going to be this annoying that you can do like 87 damage by landing 3 of them. So really good, because the second hit now deals 14 damage instead of the regular 10 damage that he used to deal. So it's a good trade for the nerfs that he got. So his strings got slightly more stronger in general, and I really like this change at all. Really like this change as much, because on counter hit the second hit is now +9 on hit, and there is a reason for that. It's because you can actually now whiff back forward to 1 to get guaranteed stuff, but you can also now get a launcher from it and do like some really good combos if you have some really good execution. But if you guys know, this is easily the new move. It's a punishable -14 frame move. It can be stepped to the right as well. It doesn't really have much of a tracking. Just let me show you real quick. No, you need to guard it. So let's put them to guard. Come on, hey Yash, let's go. Oh, but it tracks. Good, so it tracks slightly. So I guess they're gonna have to sidewalk this move to the right instead of just... Oh, it still works really good. It has tracking. This is weird. It's really weird, this move having tracking. Let's see if they can go to the other side. Oh, you have to sidestep to the other side. So this is a move that you can sidestep to Jin's left side instead of his currently weak side, right? And it hits if they don't sidewalk. So just know that this move is going to hit if they don't sidewalk. So they're gonna have to sidewalk this move. But the idea is that this move now, it has so much tracking and it's so dangerous that it doesn't really matter, because if they guard, like if they are getting hit on counter hit pressing buttons by the third hit, then the second hit, sorry, then the third hit is going to be a guaranteed launcher. So this is a strategy now for season 4, with back forward 2-1, catch them on counter hit, because it's also hit confirmable and you can do combos, and it also has a flip over animation. Sadly, the opponent can take this flip over. I see a lot of people are drooling over this move, but it's not really a great Oki. If you really want Oki with Jin, just do the regular staple, which is 1 2 3 down 4. This is your Oki, and you can also do down 2 or down 2 for the knockdown if they stay grounded, or the down 1 if they are really trying to stand up and block low. So this is the stuff that Jin always had. And this move, so we're just going to show you real quick what I meant by disabling this stuff. So this move hits on the ground, as you guys can see, and you can also do like some really strange combos to it. Not sure if this is going to work. Let's see. Damn it, execution. Okay, here it goes. But the idea is that this there are characters where back forward 2 1 2 are your ender, and sometimes you're gonna have to scream, for example big size characters, so this is going to work on them. This also hits on the ground, it doesn't matter in what position. So I'm assuming that maybe this cannot be cannot be side rolled. Let's see if they can side roll while on the ground. Oh man. Let's see. Oh, but they can guard it. Oh damn it. So it tracks just finding this out. But you have to be slightly faster, right? So if your opponent stays on the ground and they see this, oh man, great damage actually. Even without screw, this is actually great damage. So they're gonna have to side roll to that side. Oh, but Jin can track as well. Let's see if we can catch them. Just hard to do it. But I'm just trying to catch them on the ground. But you guys know traditionally some people like to lay on the ground as you are doing forward 3 or forward 4, and then they react with a side roll. So these people, now you can start doing this and they're gonna have to tech. They're gonna have to press a button or they're gonna have to side roll, but it doesn't matter which one they do as long as they are grounded and late. When they do it, this is going to be guaranteed hit on the ground. That is going to be a flip over, but they can tech the flip over by pressing 1, 2, 3 or 4 depending of if they press the punch buttons, they are going to tech to the background, but if they press the kick buttons, they are going to tech to the foreground. So this is pretty much it for Jin. Hope you guys enjoy it, and of course I will be labbing this more extensively in the future, and we'll be presenting more stuff, more tech that will come along. But Jin in general doesn't really have changed much, and I said this before season 4 drops that this is a formula that I think that has reached its peak on season 2, and ever since then everything we do doesn't really matter as much because the character seems to be getting worse and doesn't really get impressive stuff from him anymore. So I'm not really impressed by this. What I'm really impressed is just back forward to 1 being good, and on counter hit, the second hit now or being +9, forward 4 is no longer steppable. So really good stuff, meaning that more mix-ups that gets to come with this stuff, and of course better strings. I was already forgetting the down 3-3-1, which is also now -14, so they can no longer launch except Brian, Kazuya of course, and Kunimitsu can also launch 14 frames easily, and quite a few characters that have 13 frame launchers. But note that this is Jin. You won't feel much the change of this. If you like to apply pressure, use 4-3-3. It's the move that you're going to use. If you have trouble using forward 3-3, be sure to check the Jin's code. The latest one, strings and bad apples, really come on a good way to actually show you some of the stuff that was buffed here, so you can use that Jin's code as a solid tutorial to use the strings that were buffed in this season. So hope you guys enjoy it, and see you guys on the next video.